Hello, I'm Jaclyn, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite graphic novels of the year that were published in 2024. And I will be talking about them in the order I read them, not the order that I like them the most, because we don't do that here. So, first up is Lunar New Year Love Story by LeUyen and Pham. And this was beautiful. I love the inclusion of Chinese culture, lion dancing, family. It was beautiful in that way. But the point is, this girl's family, their family is like cursed. They don't find true love, so she thinks she'll never find love. And sometimes you find it when you're not looking. So it was like a love story, but also more than that. So that's why I loved it. Then 49 Days by Agnes Lee kind of blew my mind because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anything about it, and I started reading it. And basically, the main character has died, and in Buddhist tradition, you have 49 days until you can pass on. And so it's about her journey, and you also get snippets of her family grieving her. And so it was just a very beautiful journey in seeing how that happens and how your loss affects other people, that you don't see that because you're not here anymore. It was a very simple but beautiful story. And The Deep Dark by Knox Ostertag was probably my most anticipated book of the year, and it did not disappoint. It had everything I love about their normal books. It was queer, it was sad, it was deep. There was a monster, and it was kind of like a little underlying mystery. I liked that it was in black and white mostly, but the flashbacks would be in color, so that was kind of interesting switch, because normally that would be opposite, I feel like. So it was just a very unique story in that way, and just a huge fan. Lunar Boy by Jes Cin Wibowo was beautiful, and if you know anything about me, I love The Little Prince, and this felt like a Little Prince retelling. So Lunar Boy lives on the moon by himself, and he gets adopted by this family, and it's interesting. And then he's trying to fit in this new planet, and so it's a self-discovery, coming-of-age story, but the art was just beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Like, my favorite panel was the one that looked like the Little Prince, and I kind of died at that moment. Love it. Brownstone by Samuel Teer and Marjulia was another coming-of-age story. That seems to be a trend with me. But the main character goes and stays with her dad over the summer in his brownstone, and they're kind of fixing it up, and she doesn't know her dad at all. So she gets to know her dad and that side of the family, and it was kind of a found family because they all live in this brownstone together, and the culture, and she's learning about that half of herself that she just doesn't know anything about, and I love that for her so much. Youth Group by Bowen, McCurdy, and Jordan Morris was so much fun. Huge fan of Bowen McCurdy's art, and then I've never read Jordan Morris before, but this was a lot of fun. So basically, there's demons, and she joined the youth group not really knowing that it was going to be like that, and she didn't really want to be there, but the youth group leaders are hunting demons, and I freaking had so much fun. I didn't want it to end, and of course the art is beautiful. Ash's Cabin by Wang, another really, really sad book. So Ash goes on a journey by themselves with their dog to their I think it's their aunt's cabin or grandma's cabin in the woods, and they're living off the grid trying to survive. And so it's like a survival story. And it was just thinking you have no other options and you are a burden to the people, so you just want to go and be alone with your dog. And the dog does not die, so highly recommend. Navigating with You by Jeremy Whitley and Cassio Ribeiro was delightful. My favorite part of this was the two main characters become friends because they like the same manga, and they go on a journey to find all the books in the series and they read them together. And the manga is also incorporated into the story, and it looks like manga. It's great. And I like the parallels of their story and the manga story. It's always my favorite when they do stuff like that. And just seeing them become friends and fall in love was just so sweet. So beautiful. I loved it. Weirdo by Tony Weaver Jr. and Jes Cin Wibowo. Again, art beautiful. Definitely love their art and their colors. And this was another sad book. This was a memoir by Tony and him growing up, getting bullied in school because he's weird. He likes comics and stuff. But he finds his friend group. He finds his peace. And trigger warning, he does try to unalive himself. So that is a heavy book, but it was worth the journey. I loved it so much. And last but not least, The Other Side of Tomorrow by Tina Chow and Deb J.J. Lee. Again, the art is beautiful. Deb's artwork is so soft and like whimsical, and this story was really sad, so it felt more magical just having that art paired with it. And I don't think I've ever read a graphic novel in verse before, so it was like a poem, an illustrated poem, so that made it really interesting to read. But the story itself is sad because they're leaving Korea trying to get to safety because obviously conflict. Yeah, so they're trying to flee North Korea. They have to go on their journey, and I don't even know. It was sad. Most of these books were sad, but worth it. And yeah, those are my favorites for the year. It was really hard to narrow down, but I think I would confident to say those are my favorites. So thanks for watching. Bye.